CI/CD Symfony because I'll be using a lot of open source tools to demonstrate the power of CI/CD in here. So let's take what we are trying to achieve in here and understand that how the tools play the role in the whole end-to-end picture. So this is something like assume this is like a local environment of yours where you have this particular project. Now I'm using a project which is coordinatedly poked from my existing Spring MVC Showcase project in Git, but you can choose any of your project. But the idea is that this is your project, and this is the production environment of the same project running on a different server. I'm using a Elastic Compute server or EC2 on AWS environment, which I'll demonstrate quickly to you. But what you want actually, you want some change to do in this particular environment, and you want that change to be pushed very fast into this particular other server environment. Now the idea is how the tool chain can enable or support you on this. Now you might have heard all these names: Git, GitHub, AWS, or Jenkins and all. We will try to see all the things in action here. So this is a local environment, as I said, and it looks something like this. Let's assume the change which business want from us is to change this Spring MVC Showcase all in small letters. That's what a change they want on this UI page, and that change should be pushed very fast to the production environment. So just to get a flavor, let's say this is a development environment. So I'm using an IDE here, which is an open source IDE. I'm using IntelliJ. So this is my project, and I've spot on in my project I have found the particular file where I wanted to do the change. Now this is that file, home.jsp. So I spot the change and I change it to lowercase everything. So Spring MVC Showcase, I change it. Now this particular change I'm gonna save in my local, first thing. Second thing, I already have some test cases and all within this project. I wouldn't go in detail of that for the purpose of saving some time. But then I have a Maven target defined for this project to execute and run it. So first thing, I have done the change in local, and I'm trying to run and check that the change is reflected in my local environment. Let's see what we get out of that. So Tomcat server is again restarted. I go back in here. This is just my local. I refresh it. I give it some time. It's taking its own time to start, which is normal sometimes. Okay, so it's still starting. You can check that on the logs here. Successfully completed request. So over here now you can see the change has been reflected in a local environment, Spring MVC Showcase. Good. Now once you're happy with this change in your local, the next step you're going to do, I go back to my IntelliJ and I need to push this particular change onto GitHub in a branch from where I have checked out my local branch from. So I go in here and I said, okay, Git, I want to commit. I go to Git's commit directory, and you can see it has already sort of like find out my change, and I can just double click on that and it opens this diff view. I can check in there, okay, what change I have done. I've changed Spring MVC Showcase from this to lowercase. Great, you're happy with that. Close. You give a comment over here. So I say this is a commit with a change to be pushed to live with the title in lowercase. You will put the comment as you want, but I just leave it like this, and then you just commit. Now there is an option to commit and push, or there is an option just to commit. Just to do it quickly, I will do commit and push. Okay, I had this one little checkbox here. You wouldn't worry about this, just commit it from here for the time being, and then push. Great. So remember the steps. First thing, you made the change in your local. After that, you test it locally on your server, and post that your change you're pushing to GitHub. So the second thing we do now is we go here to GitHub. sorry, not there, we go to our GitHub, which is here. And over here now, if I just refresh my this dev branch quickly, you can say you recently push branch. There is something which has recently come in the dev branch, and what I do, I said okay, compare and pull this request. Now this is a level of like you can say an quality check, that you don't want to straight away merge things in your master. If you refer Git flow in detail, you will find that how this particular piece works. But it's showing me right now, it's telling me that okay, I want to compare it with NanoHeart. This is my branch, so my master can straight away get this particular dev branch change which I have pushed in there. So if you are happy with the change that you have pushed there, so you can create a pull request. Now pull request will give you a chance to review it. If you want anyone to review, you can write review comments and all. Otherwise you will just say everything is fine, it's just a very minor change, no conflicts are coming, I can just merge this pull request. Now once you merge this pull request, you confirm the merge. Now I'm acting as the same user, I'm the admin on this. Check what's happening on Jenkins, where my build was. Suppose you see Jenkins has got an alert to start and build for your project. So from here everything is going to be automated. So what has happened, as soon as your master got a kind of a merge on that branch, it automatically triggered the build in Jenkins. I'll quickly come back to show you how I've done that piece, but for now we just wait for this build to be completed. Let's just go to the console of this build and see what's happening there. So you can see in here that yep, so build completed successful. Now over here in the end you will see that I have launched the Tomcat 7. I've used the same plugin to launch Tomcat on port 88.7, but I have launched it after 1 minute. So in 1 minute what it's gonna do, it's gonna launch your deployed artifact. So what does that effectively means? If I go back to my production, I try to refresh it, not yet. I have to give it that 1 minute delay. There is a technical reason why I have generated that 1 minute delay, because to treat it as a separate process in the build of Jenkins or the Jenkins current tree. There can be some more smarter ways of changing that piece, but as of now I've just kept it 1 minute, and here you see. So your change which you had done in your local has been pushed to your production now, and it's up and running in there. So that's a kind of like tooling doing. There is a lot of further stuff which is missing in there, but this was a short and sweet example just to show how fast things can be pushed as needed. Quickly I will show you some of the things which I have used in this. So you already saw IntelliJ. This is where a dev environment is, and then I'm using Git. So I'm having my repository and everything set over here in Git. And in GitHub there is one thing, if I show you very quickly, if I go to the settings, I'm using service here which is a Jenkins Git plugin. And if you see some properties on this plugin, as I have defined, I have to again keep my password here, that the URL of my Jenkins, and with an active and keeping it active when an event is triggered. So whenever an event is happening on our master, like in commit, it's going to hit the Jenkins URL and it's telling it, okay, you start doing a new build because a commit has come. And in Jenkins, if I go to this particular project, my test1 project, what I've done there in configurations, I am using something for build in source control management, sorry, the repository which I have to check out, and the branch which I want to check out. So as soon as it knows the event has come, it will start this process, will check out the repository. And over here I've written this little script to kill anything if it was running earlier, and then just clean install with Maven and then start running Maven again at port 8087. So that's the bit and pieces. Interestingly, this particular server I'm running, the Jenkins server I'm running somewhere here, which is my AWS environment. So if I quickly show you, there is only one. There is this one particular T2 micro server which I have instructed. It's like a virtual machine only for you. But if you see the details of this particular machine, what monitoring and all, it's all standard AWS given details. Only one thing which you need to be a little careful, that I have formed a security group here, and in this security group I have configured like some custom TCP rule I bound that okay, port 8087 should be allowed to be accessed from outside. That's why you are able to see this particular server. And same way HTTP and SSH. I'm not running Jenkins straight away. I'm running it behind Apache HTTP proxy and doing redirection to Jenkins. So that's kind of like a very open stack example. The idea is this, to illustrate the power of moving things from here to here and how fast we can move them in a real production environment. Hope this was of use, and it will give a little idea to people who just hear about these tools and stuff, but just to get a feeling that how they all are working and orchestrating the end-to-end flow. So that was the CI/CD Symphony for me. Thanks for watching.